Thank you, Sababhai. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Probably I will give some information that will be helping to write a standard draft, probably not a very poor one when to give to the mentors for the revision and all. Let me share my screen. Can you see
That
it
looks good. That looks good.
properly? Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, that looks good.
Hello, everyone. So today, as Sababhai mentioned, I will talk about how to write an effective statement of purpose, or SOP. Statement of purpose is one of the most important document you provide for the grad application. There are several others like CV and letter of recommendation, and obviously your transcript and all, but SOP is one crucial element where you will write about yourself, your journey, and your academic interest, obviously like relevant information where the graduate admission committee, like they can evaluate how you are as an applicant, or what's the merit of you. So SOP is an like very important part of your grad school application. So before I start, I want to mention that this webinar is not intended to provide how to write a very good prose, what words to use, and what grammatical phrases you can use, what mistakes cannot be made, those things. It's not intended to that. It's more like the structure in the way an SOP should be written, and the do's and don'ts, like what you absolutely cannot include in an SOP and other aspects in your grad applications, and what can be a possible structure of writing an SOP, what should be in there. So that's our intention here. So okay, so we will proceed in 3 steps. So at first, I will talk about the structure of the SOP, how this can be formed. And then we'll discuss cases of death, or KOD, which are like absolute no-no, like you cannot mention whatsoever in your application anywhere. And then probably we'll talk in one slide, well, what kind of research expectation you have in your mind, and what's you face in reality actually. So the last part, it's a discussion we had with Sababhai and others, and I thought that it's an important as you are applying for the grad school here, and it would be an important information to know what really you are expecting here. So we have many different things in our mind about research, but the reality is not exactly like that. So we will talk on this. So here I have take help from the Slido to interact with you a little bit. It's not many slides that are interactive, but few words. So if you scan this QR code and join the Slido, like join with the SSGSA code, or just go to the slido.com and put the SSGSA code, you will see these questions like, what are the qualities of a student that admission committee like really wants to see? If you just give like 1 or 2 phrases, then it will be helpful for us to proceed. So I will request everyone to go to slido.com and then put SSGSA, or just scan the QR code. Yeah, so if you scan the QR code, do not, you just write like, what are the qualities? Like you just give 2 or 3 qualities, like bright student or motivation, something like that, not SSGSA there. Like SSGSA is the code. So you give some like features of a student, like the attributes or characteristics. Am I clear here? Yes, motivation, honesty, probably the grad admission committee with like pedigree, adaptiveness, how diligent you are, community service, like, yeah, we will discuss. Knowledge, how much knowledge you have, passion, great. Soft skill, nice. Excellence in, okay. Discipline, how disciplined you are, persistence, yeah. Okay, so yeah, people have their own ideas and you have in your mind what really the grad school like looks for. Let's see what they actually look for. So from the like an ideal student in the eyes of grad student committee is actually a student who is gifted and creative. It's a very subjective thing, what is gifted and creative to them, but obviously very bright and extremely motivated to learn. And they are like suited to the program. They want to pursue their line of inquiry that is presented by the faculty. And the student should be like pleasant and responsible, and they should not have any personal problems. So that's a description of an ideal student, what the grad admission committee really wants. So if you want to show that you are a bright student and you are extremely motivated, the way you show is like through CV. Very bright, you will show through your CV. You are extremely motivated and perfectly suited to the program. You want to like pursue the lines of inquiry is through the SOP. SOP is your only way that you show that, yes, I want to know this, I want to do this, I am motivated. And the pleasant, if you are a pleasant, responsible person, that goes from the letter of recommendation. So in your like how bright you are academically is through your academic records, like the transcript, CV and all. And SOP is one of them. You can see that 3 of the properties here are like they are incorporated in the SOP. You have to show a good line of thought there that shows you have these characteristics. Great. So you can see that they are not looking for whether you are intended for community service or how disciplined you are. Those things are not the first priority for the admission committee, right? And how knowledgeable you are, okay, I mean, obviously you have some knowledge, obviously, but you will learn, you will go, and you have done well previously. So that's taken for granted. Okay. So the structure of the SOP. Now, how do you write a SOP? Is it very flexible? Is it very strict? How it is? Let's begin. What is an SOP actually? So SOP, as we discussed, it's an opportunity that you show the admission committee that you have your, like you are a developed person in profession and you have good academic background, and you want to do research and you have field experience and all, you have other plans, career goals in future, and you are very, very clear about that. So it's a written description about those things. Okay. Yeah. So the another thing is people take SOP as just a requirement that you have to provide CV, you have to provide SOP, you have to provide the transcript. It's just not a requirement. You have to give conscious effort to write a good SOP. It's about you. It is the only place where you talk about yourself. But we will discuss more in later that it is not an autobiography at all. Like you will not tell stories about yourself or stories about your family and all. This is not the place. But it's the place where you talk about your academic journey and the relevant information you share that is not present in the CV or in the transcripts. So I don't know what, if someone is trying to take us, make some highlights and all, so I think it's not possible through Zoom. This document, I hope it will be shared with you as well later, so you will have all this information. Okay, so what can be a possible structure of the SOP? It's not very strict. It's not that you have to obey certain rules. It is pretty flexible. You can write your own coherent way, in a coherent way that you want to present. First thing is the introduction. We'll go with the introduction, and it's a 1 or 1.5 page of written document, and the grads, like admission committee, will read a lot of SOPs, so they do not want to like read boring stuff. You do not. So before I delve deeper into this, I should mention that SOP is, you do not have to be a great writer or a prose writer, to write a great SOP. You will have a story, a coherent ideas, a logical flow. Then it will be polished through reviewers. They will find your mistakes, and they will like improve the writing and all. So when we are trying to write an SOP, that you are not trying to write George Orwell or some other guy who writes very, very well. So, but we will certainly follow some rules. Like we will try to come up to make it interesting. It's coherent. So we will start with a striking line that can be a hook, and that may be a kind of storytelling, but it's not too like very, very story-like. And then you will, I'm not saying that like these are only the points you have to follow. These will be the part in your introduction. So you will start with a hook, and then you will describe how you landed where you are, like whatever the things. So as I said, it's a story, but it is not an autobiography at all. You do not have to like relive your whole childhood from the grad student, undergrad life and all. You don't have to go through this. And when you state that this is my passion, I want to do this, and then you have to logically connect the next phase is, why this program? Why are you applying like Harvard or MIT? What MIT or Harvard is providing you? So you will state very clearly that these are my requirement, these I want to do, and this program is also giving this same kind of opportunity to go deeper into this. So you will state very, very clearly in this program. And you have to show that you are well researched about the faculties and the program, what they do, what research opportunities they have. You have to show that like you really know about their stuff. We will go through examples later, like in 4 parts. We'll go through examples. There you can see how this can be written. And when this program is done, like you have written that this program part is done, that it is a good place to do this what I want, then you have to prove that why are you a fit for this. And you have to prove that you are not just a fit, you are an excellent fit. Like the experience you have, the knowledge you have gathered, this is like you are one of the best they can choose from, right? So you will show your relevant experiences. Like you will state that I have done this, I have involved in this kind of research, but you will not go deeper into that research. You will not say, I have at first done this, and then this, and then this. No one really wants to know the details of your research work or the lab experience really, really deeper. You just state what you have experienced, or the summer schools, and like what motivated you there, like, but in a very logical way. You will show that you have got good grades. If they are very, very good, you can mention in a line, but you should not brag about this there. And you will show your achievements. You have written some papers, you have written some book chapters and all. But remember, it's not an CV. You have a separate CV to show these qualities. This is not a CV at all, but you will give a description why you are an excellent choice for this program. And at last, we will finish with the closer, and we will bring back the same kind of things we were talking in the introduction. And we will not reiterate, but in a paraphrasing way, we'll say the same thing, right? And probably you can talk about your future goal, that you want to be a professor, or you want to build something new, something like that. So this is like a possible structure, but you can see not that you have to. But I find it very coherent. I find it very straightforward, and there is no crap inside this. It is crisp and to the point, and that's everyone wants, actually. Okay. So the SOP will be slightly different for people who are applying for the masters and who are applying for the PhDs. So before I delve into this, the different way of writing or the examples, I want to know how many of you are here that want to do masters. So if you go to the Slido again, you will see that there are two options, either masters or PhD. If you, yeah, so. Okay. So 67%. Okay. I think we should give it some time. That will show like how many people are going for PhDs and masters. I'll give around 15 seconds more. Okay, it seems it's a 60-40 kind of proportion here, that mostly people are going for 60% of the in PhDs and masters. So that's expected. Great. Okay. Okay. So in the introduction for the masters, a person who is going for masters is actually a person who wants to learn new skill and apply that in skill, which is a little bit different from the PhDs. A PhD applicant who wants to do like research, he wants to delve into research, but the masters, his priorities are a little bit different. You can see here the guy who wants to like go into a good Ivy League university, and there he wants to learn skill that will let him engage education, that will let him build something which will help education to be more engaging and lucid, and which would be more interactive. So that's his goal. And he stated that it's a common joke for the international student that they cannot be ill. And it's a hook. You can see that it doesn't seem like it's a SOP. It seems it's a story. But later, after one or two sentences, it say that there was a problem in communicating with the hospital when he was admitted. And the billing, how the billing will be done, is not very clear. And it was a year-long back and forth with the hospital and the insurance company and all that, like, he suffered through this. And sorry. And that's actually his intent. He wants to improve the system, and through this he wants through education, and he wants to use like tools, the technical tools, to make this more engaged. And this is like people will love, and it will be easy for people to interact through this. So he wants to build something like that. It's like Khan Academy or something like that he wants to do, probably. So that's he is saying, I want to gain some skill that I can implement later. So you can see here he start with a storyline, but for a PhD guy, you can just go straight to the point that I was here in that university. I had this experience, and I think this has like my core part of my life. And you start from this, and people are interested. Okay, so you have done this. What you really want. And after like the last sentence of his exam, like introductory paragraph, he says that what I seek to know, this particular university is actually asking for the same question. So I think it's a great opportunity for me to go for this. So it's a way of introduction where you will talk about yourself, but you will not talk about your life, which are completely irrelevant and redundant here. Okay. And now, why this program? So what is there that you are in the program? For some master student, he says that I want to gain these skills. I want this technology and innovation. And he says that through this professor, he will, at Harvard, he will teach those things. And I think these things will be very easy, like very helpful for me if I gain those knowledge. So that's his argument. And here you will write, like, these are very, very short sentences I have picked up to give you just a sense what can be written, what can be there. But the norm is you will write 1 to 2 paragraphs for the introduction, 2 to 3 paragraphs for this program, and so on. And why you fit, which will go later, why you fit for this program, also 2 to 3 paragraphs. So here, these are only 1 to 2 sentences. For the PhD student, I mean, it's very straightforward. If someone is going for a PhD and he is like, he knows or she knows what they want to do, then it's very easy to explain why they want this program. So they can say that I am very interested in that person's work, so that he is a faculty, he or she is a faculty there and does wonderful work. And also he or she likes that another faculty's work. They are also trying to find some relevant question that is like a similar kind of questions he or she is interested. And this lab can be very fit. It's extraordinary. So here you will explain like in detail what, and here you will show that you have done your research. That's very crucial. People do not research very much, and they are not sure what they want to do, and that place this confusion occurs. Like if you do not know really what you want to do, then you will fumble here. Okay. And now you have to show that you are really, really qualified for this program. You are one of the best. You have to prove that you are one of the best. So the master's student, it's straightforward. Who is applying for master's, he will say that I have this like experience. I have done this kind of work. I have learned this. I have learned this. I know that the next the grad school will not be very easy for me, but I think I can take care of that. I am pretty good. I am confident. And a PhD student might say that I have this experience. I have done that project with him. I have gone to this summer school where I done this, and I have experienced a long week of long work ethics. I have a good work ethics for long period of time. And also like I have scored very well. So I think this opportunity, the Harvard or MIT or any good school which are providing me, I am one of the best. I want to, but you will not say it directly that I am one of the best, but you will show, you will portray like this is you are, and it will be a good fit. So you have to be very specific that why you are a good fit. You have to be coherent, logical, and one by one. So as I'm saying, I am not providing like what sentences you should write. I am saying I am just trying to give a glimpse of what can be a possible structure, what way you can write these things. And the sentences, the grammatical mistakes, it will be raised, it will be improved over time through your mentors and others. reviewers. Okay. And now the closer. So it's, you can see it's in a very like 4 distinct way: the introduction, why this program, why you are fit for this, and now you close. You close in a kind of similar manner. So if for the master student, he can say that this is a good, this is a very booming thing, and I want to do this, and I want to like participate in this and do something like that. PhD student will say something similar, but it is the same kind of thing you have said, already stated in the introduction. Nothing new, but in a different manner. And you will say that, yeah, after doing this, probably I will go for academia as a professor, or I will develop some new, I will found industry or something like that. I want to do my own business. If you are in chemistry or something that can be industrialized. So you will lay what's your plan, and people will like that. If you have, I have my own experience with a few professors and other postdocs. They really like when you have a good plan. That's a positive sign. Okay, so it's in a broader scope. It's the way SOP can be written. Now we will be go what are absolutely no. You cannot include those things. So these are called kiss of death. What is a kiss of death? It's like, let's say you are a good candidate, you have good GPA, you have good CV, you have good other things, but you have like incorporated some information that the grad school will not like at all, and just seeing those information, they will reject the application. You may be a strong applicant, but they will reject. They do not like this kind of thing. So there was a study by 2 researchers, and they like surveyed 88 psychology grad committee, and they came up 5. They asked the grad admission committee, like, what are the kiss of death you found throughout your life when you have reviewed the SOPs? And they got replies from them, and they categorized these 2 researchers. So I have put the keyword code, the paper link in the keyword code. You can find that later. And they categorized the case of deaths in 5 categories. So the first one is damaging SOP. You write something in your SOP that really damage that SOP. Harmful letter of recommendation. It's a thing that it's not in your hand. Like if you go to some professor, ask for a letter of recommendation, and for some reason, I don't know, for some reason, if he or she includes something where there is no positive points about you, it just they say he is competent or she is competent, that kind of letter of recommendation you do not want at all. You want letter of recommendation from people who really know you and write good, positive, unique things about you. That is important. So this is not a part of discussion here, but letter of recommendation is an important part. And I think you should talk to your mentors really in detail, like whom I should go for the letter of recommendation and all. Okay. And the lack of program information. You do not know the school well, you do not know the faculty well, that will harm you. Poor writing, obviously, grammatical mistakes, and spelling mistakes. This shows that you are not sincere. You have not taken care, carefully this job, and that they do not like. And misfired attempts to impress. I was impressed to see this. So people really brag about something about themselves, which is totally irrelevant, and that's to impress the audience, but they do not like it. I mean, there can be many examples you can think in your mind. You should not write any such things. The thing here, the 5 categories, I do not know why the researchers categorize them in these 5, because I see the poor writing, misfired attempts to impress, and lack of program information actually goes into the SOP as well. Like you can, these signs can be seen in the SOP. Probably they have other means, like they want to categorize this, but I see this that inside SOP you can write something which can be very damaging. You can show that you do not have any information about the program. You show poor writing, and you write something that they do not want to like hear about. So this you should not do. So let's delve into some damaging SOP examples, like what can be damaging. Mental health declaration, it's a no-no. You should not mention in your SOP that I am going through depression or I am taking antidepressant. So you may be, I mean, that's normal, that can be, but there is no need to mention this in the SOP. This is absolutely no need. And this is from the psychology department. That's why it's an important part here, because that survey is from the psychology department. And people, like, they say that they like want to pursue this line of education because they had like family history of mental problem or psychiatric disease, and they have their experience with trauma and all, and to understand them better, they are like want to pursue this degree. It's not at all the way to go. So you will not write anything which is personal, very personal. You will obviously point out some things that has motivated, and that has to be relevant. That is, this cannot be irrelevant at all. You will not say that like you will not state any information that shows that your behavior is unreliable and you are not stable. You cannot show those traits in the SOP. Excessive altruism, that's we have seen a lot. People say in their grad school application that they want to do PhD because they want to help people and they want to make their parents proud, their country proud, something like that. So this is not at all you will include. It's, you want to help people, this is taken for granted. I think people assume that you should want to like help people. And these are very personal things. Your parents will be proud, whose will not. I mean, yeah. Professional inappropriateness. You should not crack jokes in the SOPs. You should not like make fun of something or trying to say something in a humorous way and think that people like the committee will be impressed. They will not. They will not be impressed. You should avoid these things. Irrelevant religious reference. You can be a theist, you can be a very believer, but you should not state sentences like, I know God has appointed me to good on earth, and I think this is a path and I should take this. You should not write such things, like anything regarding those things which are not relevant for the program. Okay. So those were the things about SOPs, how to write SOP, how to structure it, and which things are like you cannot write at all. So about I have my experience and my opinions about SOPs and writing SOP, that after writing this, you should not ask for your like friend or a person who has gone, like he has got an admission to USA. He will not be a very good person to review your SOP. Like, he has probably written only one SOP in his life, and he also got some help. So they are not very good, like, you know, best choices for a person to like got review from. You should go for persons who have experience, who write well, who know these things. Like, ask me, I have written only one SOP, and I do not consider myself as a great English prose writer. I do not. So if you come to me, probably I will give you some comments, but I will, like, my comments are not last comments. You should go to different reviewers, different comments and all. You should not go to your peers. That's given. And to write a good SOP, you don't have to be a very good prose writer, as I said before. Like, you don't have to be a very like George Orwell, or a good writer in your own language who will you admire. So you just have to make a frame, a draft, and then you have to like add stuff to that have to be like coherent, and through reviews things will be improved. So yeah, don't get like disappointed and like having this information in your mind that you do not write well. That's not a point here. And but one thing you have to take care is when you write a draft, you have to be satisfied. Okay, so this is I really like. You have to come up to the point. It's not that you just barely write a thing and send to the other reviewers to review it, to change and find mistakes and replace the phrases, paraphrasing, all those things. You have to come up with your best version. That you have to do. I know that SOP writing, it will be, you have not started writing this. When you will write it, it will be like, you might be a little bit afraid. It's a big document, 1.5 page or 2 pages of written document, and you will think the whole picture, that you have to write that whole thing. But don't take this as a torment or suffering that, oh my God, I like, अरे यार, SOP लिखना है अभी बाकी है पूरा. You should not think this like that. Take this as a journey. Like, what were the things that have motivated? Like, you have a structure in front of you, and fill the gaps, and try to come up with a version that you really like. When you will finish this SOP, you will really like yourself that, yeah, I have written this. It's a good experience. You will feel good. So do not take this as a torment or suffering, but enjoy the process and take your time. It will be helpful. And if you like find this kind of work that repels, grad school will be tough for you, because there will be a lot of things which you do not like at all, but you have to do. Those are the things that are important. And there will be classes that you have to take. Probably there will be assignments that you have to take. You have to write few things that do not align to your research, but those are the things that you have to do. And SOP is, if you take SOP, is like one of the things that you do not want to do, and that's why you are not coming up with a good SOP. It's not an argument. You have to come up with a good SOP, and to keep in mind that this is gonna be your life in grad school. There will be few things that you do not like, but you have to do it anyway. Okay, so till now I see it's 10:47. I think I am on time. Probably I may be going a little fast, I don't know. But these were about this till now. These were about like SOP, not to include SOP, and how to be motivated writing an SOP. One thing as I said before, I want to discuss is what we expect in grad school. What kind of research expectation you have, what you have in your mind when you think about research. So I will ask you again to go to Slido and give your opinion here. It's a multiple choice, so you can give more than one options here. So this is mainly towards the PhDs who are applying for the PhDs. Or, okay. So there are options like in PhDs, you will do like extremely significant original work in your PhDs. And you will expect that the day will pass, your motivation also will increase towards research, and you will be like day by day, you will be more motivated. And you have your knowledge till master's and till your undergrad, and whatever you have, you will apply all of those things here. So 93% are, I mean, they're saying they will, so sorry, there is a spelling mistake. So they will really do very significant original work. And some of says that they will have a total command. I do not know, actually, I do not. Oh, okay. The system was changed for a little bit. Okay. Yeah. What happened? Sorry. Okay. So 87% of you said that they will do significant original work. 53% said that they expect increasing motivation day by day. And 33% said existing knowledge they will apply or whatever they have, and they will be signed in your PhD life as a great scientist, and they will have a total command. So you have, few of you have your mind, but the reality is completely different in my experience. So PhD is a place you will not, most probably, you will not do anything that is groundbreaking. You will not. You will just learn how to write scientific papers, how to conduct research, and how to work with other people, how to collaborate. And you will delve into new things. You will acquire a lot of new skills. Probably you will learn different languages to code, different laboratory skills you will acquire, but not that you will, in this era, you will not do anything that will be really groundbreaking. And as I said, in the research, you will do a lot of work that will not be interesting, that you have to do for your supervisor, and probably for the group. There will be many written documents that you have to go through. You have to write own memos to let other people understand what you are doing. Those things may not be very interesting, kind of boring, but that will be there. And so one of the speaker, when I was in Aligarh, and he told in a seminar, in a speech, that PhD is the place where you learn the rules of the game. So you just know how to do all those things. And when you complete your PhD, then you will delve into your original work. So that's the norm here. It was not the case 100 years ago. And I am talking from physics point of view. So obviously there is a subjective bias in different field. I mean, those things can be a little bit different, but you can expect these are mostly true. Why I also wanted to bring this up is my idea about research. What I really want to gain through research was, as you have in your mind, that I will do so intense work, which will be so interesting to me, that I will continuously study. No one has to push me to do anything. And I will be in my PhD, I will do wonderful work. But when I came here, and there a hierarchy in my mind, there was a hierarchy, like this field is good, this field is not that good, this field is inferior. If you are doing theoretical physics, then you are wonderful. If you're doing an experimental physics, then you are not that good. These things are the lack of the education system we have in our universities, and the things we are exposed to. So that's from my very personal experience, but I thought it would be great to share, and you should talk to other people as well, like your mentors or others who are doing PhDs, that what they are have experienced and what you should expect. It's not like you have something in your mind, and when you start, you see it's completely different. It's better to have a prior information about this. So that from here, I want to conclude my talk today. I hope I have been able to provide some information that will be helpful to write you a draft of SOP that will be a good standard SOP for the first draft, and that will go through, and your mentors will be happy to see that, and you have some information what you are expecting when you are in PhD. And I will conclude here. Thank you very much. Let me know and ask if you have comments and questions. Thank you.